Hey everyone, welcome to Pink Tutu Tarot. So today's reading, we're going to look at a situation that you're experiencing. It could be good or bad, but part of you is wondering, like, why is this happening, right? Why is this happening to me? Why am I experiencing this? What is the purpose behind it? Spirit wants you to know that it's more than just something happening to you. There is a bigger reason. Something they are preparing you for or trying to teach you or helping you learn, because it's going to help you in the future in some way. So here are the cards that I pulled from each reading, one card from each reading to help you identify, hopefully, the right one for you. So group 1, your card is number 11 and it's whips. Group 2 is card number 21, mountain. And group 3, your card is number 12, birds. All right, so pick a card, pick it based on the name, the picture, the number, maybe just your gut telling you which one to go to. But go ahead and pick the card, pick the group you want to go to, and all you have to do is go down into the description box, click on the timestamp for that reading, and it will take you straight there. All right, thanks y'all, we'll see you there. Hey, group 1. All right, we're going to take a look at a situation that you are dealing with, that you're experiencing, and we're going to ask Spirit, why is it happening? What's the purpose behind it, really? Not the reason it's happening, but, on the earthly material level or whatever, but what's the bigger lesson here, or what's behind it all, I guess. So your card is card number 11, and it's whips. The situation that you're dealing with, if this is your reading, has to do with fighting with someone, arguing with someone, like getting into like negative verbal back and forth with someone, or maybe they're just fighting with you. I don't know. But it's essentially arguments, tension, fighting. So if that is a situation that you are experiencing, then this reading is for you. All right, I've got an oracle card. We'll pull that later, take a look at that later, but let's get some tarot down and see what Spirit can tell us about this situation and why you're experiencing it. What's the purpose behind it? All right, we have King of Pentacles reversed, 8 of Wands reversed, the Hierophant, and the Knight of Pentacles. All right, and I'll pull some more cards after, but let me just take these cards in and get some initial messages from Spirit, and then we'll talk about what's going on here. So give me just a second. All right, yeah, Spirit is acknowledging that you're fighting with someone, or they're fighting with you. It might be one-sided. It's not physical. This is a verbal fight, whether it's, speaking, arguing, or it could be a written fight, text messages, or I don't know, social media or something. Okay. All right, there is a message here about choosing your battles, choosing your battles wisely. There's a time and a place for fighting back, right? Defending yourself, fighting back. And there's also a time and a place for giving in, walking away, keeping the peace. So we'll talk a little bit more about that, I guess. Anything else you wanted to say, Spirit? Okay. All right. So let's talk about the cards. We have the King of Pentacles reversed is your first card. Spirit is saying that this argument or this fight, there's a few different scenarios here. Of course, you know who you're fighting with and why you're fighting, but hold on one sec. Yeah, they're saying there's a few scenarios here. It could be fighting over money or assets, right? For some of you, it may be like a divorce situation, that kind of thing. It could be fighting with somebody that you work with. It could be a boss, could be a coworker, a client, a vendor, somebody that you are engaged with at work. Or it could be fighting with somebody about your work. So it may be like a customer. You don't work with them necessarily, but maybe they're arguing with you. Maybe there's some conflict around like how you do your job or how you do your work, something along those lines. Anything else, Spirit? Okay, Spirit's saying it could also be an argument with a family member. Particularly, doesn't have to be, but particularly an older male. So it could be a father, uncle, older sibling, somebody older and male. For many of you, that may be the case. Not for everyone, but it is sort of that energy coming in. And with the King of Pentacles, of course. So if it's not someone older, but maybe they just, this person you're arguing with has that energy about them. Normally, where they're one of those people that always comes across as older or an authority figure, someone who, generally feels like they're in charge, that kind of thing. All right, so we have the 8 of Wands in reverse. They're saying this arguing is like all or nothing. In other words, you are, and again, it could be that you are both arguing with each other, or they're arguing with you, or you're arguing with them. It could be slightly different for everybody, but it's like there's arguing and there's fighting back and forth, whatever it is, and then silence. Nothing. And then it may pick back up again. And then nothing. It feels a little bit like a game on their end, to be honest. Like they're trying to poke at you. And then they back off. And then they see that, your reaction or whatever, and then they come poking again. So hopefully that makes some sense to you and that resonates in some way. All right, so we have the Hierophant here. And this is about the lesson. And there is a lesson here. Spirit saying this is a teachable moment. This is a moment when we, Spirit, are able to teach you something, and hopefully you are able to teach them something. What else do you want to say about that? Again, they're saying to pick your battles. Learn what is important, what is worth defending and fighting for, and what does not deserve your time or energy. Certainly not angry energy, right? Okay. And then we have the Knight of Pentacles. Spirit is wanting you to see the bigger picture. To keep your goals in mind, your bigger goals. And to be the bigger person in this situation, in this particular situation. Even if this is something that you feel strongly that you need to defend, Spirit's saying, if you have to, go ahead and defend yourself or the situation or whatever. But keep it very calm. Keep it very diplomatic, professional. The Knight of Pentacles is not one to overreact, to jump to conclusions or to get very angry or, to lash out. Like, none of those things are coming from the Knight of Pentacles. He's calm. He thinks before he speaks. He reacts slowly, if at all. And he's not going to be triggered into saying or doing something he shouldn't, that he'll later regret, right? Okay. All right. So let's get some more cards. Now that we kind of have a feel for the situation, let's look at a little bit more about, why. Why is this happening? What's the purpose behind it? From Spirit's point of view, obviously. Okay. All right, we have 9 of Cups, the Empress, 6 of Cups in reverse, and the King of Swords. Okay. So the King of Pentacles reversed and the 9 of Cups. Okay. Spirit's saying the reality of this situation, whether you realize it or not, is that this person is fighting with you or picking fights with you or arguing with you because there's something about you, your work, what you do, who you are, what you have, that this person wants, wishes they had. Maybe they see you, from their perspective, like you have everything. Or they see you, living your dream. And it angers them, it upsets them. There's jealousy here, right? This is someone who, for whatever reason, can't do what you're doing, or won't, or isn't in a position to, but somewhere in them, they want it to be them. They want what you have. because you seem to have it all. Even if it's a customer you're dealing with, right? There may be something about your position or your role or the work you do that the customer, they may be arguing with you on the pretense that like they could do it better. They could do your job better. You don't know what you're doing. But that's not the reality behind it. The reality behind it is that they can't, right? Or they won't. They're not in a position to, but you are. And that it's something that triggers them in some way. Okay? So then we have the Eight of Wands reversed and the Empress. When this fighting is going on, like we said before, it's arguing, and then it's silence. And then maybe more arguing, or maybe they escalate it to somebody else. It's going to depend on your situation, of course. But then we have the Empress. And she knows that there are so many more important things to focus on. Than to fight back, to argue. I'm sorry, say that again. All right. Spirit's saying that the Empress is giving birth to an idea. And in some way you are too. And that's part of the message here of why this is happening. The bigger picture of why this is happening. You are actually, and this is like regardless of in what area of your life or who you're arguing with, you are on a path, you're in a position in your life right now where, whether you realize it or not, but you probably do, you are about to expand and level up. Your life is about to become very, very abundant. And that could come in many forms, right? But your life is about to get very, very good. And it feels a little bit like the universe is just raining down blessings on you. And it may not feel like that right this minute, right? This is coming. Spirit's saying this is coming. But to prepare you for these blessings and this abundance and these gifts from the universe, you have to be prepared to take people like this, situations like this, lightly. To keep your energy, your vibration, the very highest it can be. To be focusing all your energy on the blessings you have in your life and the ones that are coming. Whether you realize they're coming or not, focus on what you imagine could be coming. It's really important, Spirit is saying, for you to be focused on the right things. And this is a bit of a test, actually. And to see if you can rise to the challenge. To see if you can manage to separate this argument, this person, whatever they're saying, from your your new reality, from what you want, from what you're birthing. Because even if they're not, this may have been a one-time argument, right? They started an argument with you, started a fight with you, shut up. And since then, maybe they're coming back and arguing some more, or maybe, you're doing that in your head, right? Replaying it over and over and over and over again in your head, and thinking about what you would say or should have said, or Spirit saying you got to let it go. Get it out of your head, get it out of your energy. Be peaceful. Be the better person. This is how more blessings come into your life, is by you staying in that energy. And this is just a minor example of what you could face in the future. And it's like Spirit is wanting to make sure you can handle it before you level up and potentially are faced with more angry customers or more angry whatever, coworkers, or so maybe you're up for a promotion, or maybe you're going to be taking on a bigger role, more responsibility, or you're going to have more people working with you. It could be any number of scenarios, but you are about to level up and become very, very abundant in some way. Like that is in the works for you. But Spirit's saying we need to know that you've got this handled. That you can take criticism, that you can take negative feedback, that you can even take someone who is, angry and belligerent. Hear it, respond in a calm, professional, thoughtful way. Keep your energy in a place of kindness at the highest vibration you possibly can. They need to know that you can do that before they start heaping these blessings on you. Because with blessings, with these blessings comes responsibility. And Spirit's saying we need to make sure you're ready. They're there for you when you're ready. You might be ready now. Okay, it's interesting. So then we have the Hierophant, and we have the Six of Cups reversed. The Six of Cups reversed is often a card of looking back too much, getting stuck in the past. And there can be a tendency here, right? This is like a triggering, whatever this argument, this fight is, it's triggering for you. Or it could be, depending on how far along how ready you are. But there's a tendency you could be spending too much time thinking about it, replaying it, looking back, hanging on to it, letting this argument affect what you do day to day. It doesn't even involve this person, right? But you find yourself thinking about it. And you find yourself reacting differently or changing the way you do things because of what one person said in an angry moment. And Spirit really wants you to learn to be true to yourself and your path, and not let these things sort of make you wobble and fall off course. So then we have the Knight of Pentacles and the King of Swords. Clear head, clear thinking, no big emotions, no fighting back. It's really being thoughtful and slow and calm and clear. And when you can do that, you go from the status of knight to king, because you've earned that, right? You've earned that upgrade. And that's what Spirit is preparing you for. The King of Swords has just as many, if not more, opportunities to, for people to fight with them, right? Argue with them, disagree, point out problems, things they've done wrong, whatever. Perceived wrongs. When you up level from knight to a king, the king's they're going to hear it all, right? You have to be ready. You have to be prepared. At least on some level before you get there. And that's why this is happening. All right, let's look at your final card. We have building blocks. This is card number 28, and I'm going to read. This particular deck Spirit likes me to read from. It's the only one. Let's see. Okay. It says, you have everything you need to turn iron into gold in the alchemical process of creating the prosperous life you desire. Now is the time to build on the strong foundation you have already laid for your prosperity. Keep in mind that these building blocks are imbued with the sparkling energy of your intentions. Own your dream, and remember that you always have more than enough, and you always are enough. So abundance is ever present. Your creativity is divinely inspired, and the design for your life is taking shape in service to the world. You are meant for success. Building blocks. Yeah. Spirit is reconfirming that abundance is there. It's meant for you. It's waiting for you. You've got to build that solid base. They need to be sure that this castle that they're going to help you build is built on a solid foundation and not built on sand. Because if it's built on sand, it'll go up and it'll come right back down. And that's not what you want, and that's not what Spirit wants for you. So it's a little message from Spirit, a little opportunity for you to consciously get it right. You know what I mean? Even if your instincts say, oh, I really just want to tell this person off. Think about the bigger picture. Think about what you're trying to build for yourself. And focus on doing what's right for your abundance, your bigger world, your highest vibration. Not at their expense, of course not. But if you sink to their level and you start arguing with them and fighting back and throwing, insults back at them or whatever it may be, you both lose, right? And then you kind of have to go back to square one and rebuild your foundation again. So try to avoid that, and you should be great. All right, group one, I hope that helps. I hope that gave you what you needed and kind of helped you see the bigger picture of a situation so that you can react in a way that is in your best, highest interest. All right, thanks, y'all. If this was helpful, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe, ring the bell if you want to get notifications. You know how it works, I'm sure. Mostly, I just want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here and watching and just supporting my videos in this channel by, turning it on and paying attention to what Spirit has to tell you. So thank you so much. We'll see you next time, y'all. Bye-bye. Hey, group two. Okay, so we're going to take a look at something you're dealing with and find out why it's happening to you, right? So what is the bigger reason for whatever it is you're experiencing, the bigger purpose from Spirit's point of view of why this is happening in your life? So your card is card number 21, Mountain. And this tells us what it is you're dealing with. So you know if this is your reading. So you're basically having a difficulty with some area of your life. It's a challenge. Something has been challenging for a while, and it feels like it's been going on forever. Of course it hasn't, but it feels like it has. It's something that is, maybe it takes a lot of work. It's a lot of struggle. It's just always feels so hard. It's some area of your life that you're like, why? Why is this always such a challenge? Why am I still dealing with this? Because it is something that goes on for a while. Anything else you want to say about that, Spirit? Spirit is saying it is as much a challenge in your soul as it is in your life. So something you're dealing with, you're also really struggling with internally. Okay. All right. Well, that will hopefully at least determine if you're in the right reading. If that doesn't sound right, check one of the other readings. Maybe one of those is yours. Otherwise, let's get some cards down and see what Spirit can tell us about this challenge, this struggle you're experiencing, and why. Why is this happening to you? Okay. All right, we have 10 of Wands, Ace of Swords reversed, the Fool, and the Hierophant. Okay, I've got another card we'll look at after. All right, let's, give me just a second. I want to take these cards in. I want to listen for some initial messages from Spirit for you, and then we'll talk about what's going on here, and then I have more cards to show you after that. So give me just a sec. They're telling me that the challenge you're going through is a bit of a struggle between your mind and your heart. It's like what they're showing me is a tug of war between your head and your heart. And it's like you don't know which side should win. Or maybe you know what side should win, but it's still, both sides keep pulling at you. Spirit's saying there's going to be messages that come to you. Their messages are going to come to you directly from Spirit, but they may come in different forms depending on who your spirit guides are and who you are and what you what you can perceive and what you recognize. But they're going to be talking to you. So it may come in the form of a dream. You may have a dream at night that feels like oddly real. It may come as, some kind of a message you see online that just strikes your heart and you're like, whew, that feels real. They will get you messages where you are, right? If you're on social media, they'll find a way to give you a message there. Like I said, you could be dreaming. You could, hear someone speaking somewhere and they say something that really triggers you and resonates. So pay attention, when you get a message or you hear something or read something and you get chills, or maybe like ringing in your ears, that kind of thing. Or when you see tokens from Spirit, feathers, coins on the ground, specific birds. I know some people relate cardinals to, deceased ancestors, passed on loved ones. If there's certain birds that have special meaning to you, things like that. When you see a sign like that, pay attention to what you're thinking about, pay attention to what else is going on around you. Your guides are going to be giving you messages. They're saying in the next month or so, you'll be getting a lot more messages than usual. And they really want you to pay attention. They're saying because this challenge that you're going through is bigger than you realize. For you, you know what I mean? It's a bigger opportunity for you. We'll say that. Okay. So let's talk about the cards. We have 10 of Wands, which is the absolute perfect card to tie with the mountain and with what we're talking about here. It's a card of working hard, kind of, bearing the world on your back and on your soul, they're saying. It's like there's something that you want so badly that you're willing to put blood, sweat, and tears into it and keep working at it and keep trying. And for whatever reason, you haven't seen either a lot of results from it, or it's something that just hasn't come to fruition yet, or it just hasn't gotten any easier. There's something that you really, really want, and you're focused on it. You're trying very hard. Spirit is acknowledging that. But you're just not making a lot of progress, it feels like. And it feels like also this has been going on for a while. Okay. All right, then we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. Spirit's saying that your mind is kind of going into overdrive lately, meaning that you're thinking too much. You're overthinking the situation. You're also thinking about things that don't relate to this situation, but it's like, they're saying it's like clogging up your mind. It's creating distractions and obstructions. They're saying obstructions. What kind? Tell me more about that, Spirit, so I can explain it better. They're saying that when you're thinking so much, whether it's about this or anything, but when you're thinking all the time, you're blocking out your ability to hear your heart. And your heart really wants to be heard right now. And Spirit really wants you to listen. Okay. And then we have the Fool card. Spirit's saying something new is coming in. It's something that you've been working toward. Spirit's saying it's going to take a moment of faith to get there or to get through it. It's like you're going to have to take a leap of faith and not know how things are going to turn out. And it's related to this, whatever it is you're working toward, whatever it is that has been so hard, that you've been working at for so long and it's been so challenging. Again, it could be a personal project. It could be, getting your health stabilized. It could be, it could have to do with your job. That you're working on something at work really, really hard and you're just not making any progress there. It could be any number of things, but there's going to come a moment when you're going to get like this itchy sense that you need to take a risk. of some kind. Take this leap of faith. So that's coming. And Spirit saying, if you're not listening to your heart, you might miss it, or you might overthink this. Okay? And then we have the Hierophant. Spirit saying, your guides are trying to reach you. They're trying in every way they can to explain why this is happening to you. And we are going to pull more cards and find out exactly why this is happening to you. But what else did you want to say about the Hierophant? They're saying your goal should be right now to be still in your mind, to listen to your heart, follow the guidance that you get, not from other people, friends, coworkers, brothers, sisters, parents. Guidance that you get from Spirit. And how will they know? Spirit saying, you'll feel it. You'll feel it. You have to be still. You have to be quiet to get these messages and to hear them, feel them, understand them in whatever form they come to you, right? But if we're so busy thinking and getting distracted and not being still and quiet, we miss those opportunities. And frankly, we probably all miss a lot of messages they send us, but that's why they send so many. But they're really asking you now to be still. There's something some knowledge they're trying to impart on you, something they're trying to teach you. Yeah, they're saying there's a lesson here about being still so that you can hear. Okay, all right. So now we have some idea of kind of what's going on with you. But let's take a look now at the why. All right, we have the Emperor in reverse. Okay. We have the Seven of Wands and the Six of Wands in reverse. And one more, please, here. And the High Priestess in reverse. Okay. So we have the Ten of Wands here and the Emperor reversed. Yes, you've been working very hard and your effort has not gone unnoticed. Spirit's saying we're proud of you. We're congratulating you on your determination, your perseverance, your patience. But now it's time for you to let go. It doesn't mean stop pursuing whatever it is you're doing, but to release control of the situation, of the outcome. Because there is a bigger outcome waiting on the other side of this. Okay, what else did you want to say? Spirit is saying they're teaching you
they're teaching you to be free, which is interesting. Free from expectations, free from disappointment, free to be and do what you want to do without restraint. And it starts by letting go of control of the situation. Okay? All right, so then we have the Ace of Swords reversed and the Seven of Wands. We talked about the fact that there's all this thinking going on. If you're familiar with the typical Seven of Wands card, it usually shows a man kind of on a hill and he's beating back all these wands. You know, he's trying to stay on top of the hill, to keep his position. But in this particular card, this person, this warrior, is actually fighting to keep her peace. She's turning her head on these wands down here, turning her head away, closing her eyes, focusing on her intuition, her solar plexus, probably meditating. She is fighting for her own peace. Spirit saying that's what you need. Okay. I'm sorry, say that again. They're saying this inner peace that you need to start fighting for is going to pay off down the road. Right now, it will keep you from being distracted by overthinking, right? It's going to help you calm your mind so that you can get these messages that Spirit is trying to send you. But down the road, this skill, this ability that you are going to be honing to quiet your mind, fill yourself with peace, and be adamant about keeping your peace, fighting for your peace, is going to bring some big rewards down the road. It's really, really going to help you. So, part of the reason why all of this is happening is to get you to this point where you release control and you find this inner peace. Spirit saying you can keep struggling forever if you want. We're waiting for you to say, not I give up, right? It's not about giving up, but it's about releasing control and letting Spirit take the wheel, essentially. So that they can drive this car in a new direction. It'll help you get where you want to go faster, and where you'll end up will be even better than what you're fighting so hard for right now. Interesting. Okay. So we had the Fool card and the Six of Wands reversed. Again, they're saying it's a need to release the need to win. Not because you don't want to win, not because you don't want to be successful, because of course you do, we all do. And it's not because you won't be successful. But when we're taking a leap of faith, there has to be a part of you that knows this might not work. And that's okay. Right? You want to believe it's going to work. Follow Spirit's lead. Let Spirit guide you, take you where you need to go. But don't worry about the end result so much. Let Spirit handle that. Knowing that their goal is for you to be happier, more prosperous, more abundant, more joyful and peaceful than you are now. So success will come in many, many ways. But first you have to release the need for that goal. Yeah. Your Spirit's saying it needs to be less about the goal and more about the journey. And I know it super sucks to hear that because we all want to accomplish something. But they're saying you're going to accomplish so many things along the way that to only focus on the end result loses some of the sparkle along the way. When you're not excited about every little win in the meantime. They're wanting you to be grateful for those little wins, because each little win that you achieve and that you acknowledge and that you're grateful for will lead to another one. But if you're only focused on the end result and the end result is not coming and you get frustrated and you think, oh, I'm a failure, this doesn't work, then it's a lot harder for Spirit to help you make the magic happen. All right. So then we have the Hierophant and the High Priestess reversed. Spirit's saying, I'm sorry, say that again. Spirit's saying you're listening to your instincts, but not your heart. Your instincts right now are a little bit more ego-based, meaning, your instincts may say, I should do this job for a living because it will make me more money, right? Because that job has a lot of potential and it pays really well, that kind of thing. It doesn't have to be that scenario, but that kind of idea. Those are your instincts. Those are things that you know, and they, your gut's telling you, yeah, that job would do, make me a lot of money. Spirit wants you to pay attention to your heart a little bit more. What is your heart saying that you would love to do? What is your heart saying, if you accomplish this, you'll be happier, happiest? The goal here is for you to have the life that you deserve, not one that just looks good on paper. One that makes you feel happy and fulfilled and has all the things that make for a beautiful life, right? Love and abundance and, whatever else brings you joy. But the reason why something has been so hard, so much work, number one is to get you into the habit of working hard toward something that you want. But the bigger purpose is for you to realize that as long as you keep, fighting uphill, swimming against the current, it's going to continue to be hard work. And you're going to make very little progress. That's not the case for everybody at every time in their life. This is what Spirit is telling you with this situation right now. Stop fighting the current. Release the need to control. Release the need to get to that end point that you've already decided you need to get to. Spirit's going to take you another way. They're not taking away what you're working toward. They're not taking it away. they're showing you a different route. They're taking you on a journey that will have many surprises and achievements and aha moments along the way. Not just struggle, 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 fight, 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 till you eventually, hopefully, maybe someday get there. The journey right now is as important as the end result, if not more right now. And so they want you to just release the reins, let go, let Spirit take the wheel and take you on the scenic route here, because there's a lot of things they want to show you. All right, well, that was beautiful. Anything else you wanted to say, Spirit, before we get to this last card? Okay, all right. So your card is card number 49, and it's Observer. And I'm going to read, with this particular deck, this is the Wisdom of the Oracle. They do like me to read the description from the book, which I don't do with any other deck, but they do like it on this one. So, okay. It says, it is an advantageous time for you to get some distance from what you're doing and see your work and your projects from a different perspective. The trick is to connect to the essence of your goals and aspirations while letting the form and timing be dictated by Spirit. You may be too personally attached to an outcome and unable to see the miracle because it's not turning out exactly as you planned. Trust Spirit. The perfect version of your abundance is right in front of you. Remain neutral and curious and watch the miracle unfold. What an absolutely perfect message. And y'all, I pull, this card and that card. I pull it, but I don't look at it. So I had no idea what this card says. But it mimics almost exactly what we were getting from Spirit in this reading. So, I don't know. I guess it shouldn't surprise me, but it just does. It always does when Spirit comes in and basically just repeats everything we just talked about in a random card. That's what I do. So, all right. So I hope that was helpful. I hope it resonated. I hope it gave you some insight into this challenge you're dealing with. And I hope you take their advice. And I can't wait to hear, how it's going. I hope you'll keep me updated. Let me know. If you have any comments you want to make, I'd love to read your comments. Please drop it down below. I always read them. And thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your watching. Thanks, y'all. Bye-bye.
Hey, group 3. All right, we are going to take a look at a situation you are experiencing and find out why it's happening. Like, why is this happening to you? From Spirit's point of view, right? What is the bigger purpose for what you're going through? So, your card is card number 13, the birds. All right, let's see if we can tell what you're dealing with. Spirit is saying this reading is for those of you who are dealing with some kind of gossip, chatter, opinions, people talking to you or about you that in some way affects your peace of mind. It doesn't feel like an arguing kind of message or like an antagonistic sort of feeling, but it still might be overwhelming to you. It may even be, which is odd considering what this reading is, potentially about, but in general about like, why is this happening to me? But what they're giving me is that this chatter, this communication that you are a part of isn't necessarily bad at all. It might be good things that people are saying or talking about to you or about you, but in some way it's still, something about it still makes you nervous or uncomfortable maybe. Interesting. So it could be good or it could be positive or negative in some way, but this reading is for those of you who are aware of people talking about you, communicating about you, possibly gossiping about you. They're talking about you or what you do in some fashion that makes you nervous or uncomfortable or upsets your peace of mind in some way. All right, that's interesting. I've got another oracle card that we'll talk about at the end of the reading. We'll pull that at the end. I've shuffled and I pulled it, but I haven't seen it, so I don't know what it says. So let's get some tarot out. We're going to take a closer look at your situation, and then I've got some additional cards that will really get to the heart of Spirit's message to you about why this is something you're experiencing right now. All right, so we have Six of Swords in reverse, Queen of Pentacles reversed, Four of Cups reversed, and the Lover's card. Interesting. Okay. All right, give me just a sec. I want to take the cards in and listen for some initial messages from Spirit. Then we're going to talk about what's going on here. So hold on one sec, please. Spirit's saying, yeah, for sure, you're hearing word about yourself is what they said. Or something you're doing. Something you're involved in heavily. It might be a project you're working on, a job you're doing, a situation that you're leading or instigating or spearheading. It doesn't feel so much personal, but let me just check with Spirit. If it is personal, it's about your character rather than your character on a higher level, rather than like something small or petty, like, you know, what clothes you wear or what car you drive, anything like that. It's about who you are and what you're doing. Spirit is saying people are impressed by you. So it does, like I said earlier, it didn't feel like negative, kind of like people talking behind your back negatively. It does seem to be positive communication. Now, if you're dealing with negative communication, for sure, arguing, that kind of thing, check out group 1. That's probably more the message for you, but you may want to stick around for this as well. Because a lot of times good comes with the bad, and there might be dual sides to this coin, if you know what I mean. All right, anything else, Spirit? Spirit's saying you need to be aware of the power of your presence. You affect people. You draw them in. You make them think, and you make them think differently. And this is a good thing. But there is, with this comes responsibility, of course. So be very aware of, and I feel like you are aware that, you know, eyes are on you and people are listening. So what you say matters right now. So I guess be on your best behavior. Just knowing that, not that, maybe best behavior is not the right way to say it, I'm sorry. It really is more about being aware that people are taking what you say and do seriously. They're taking it to heart. They're taking your example and your communication very seriously. So you want to be clear and you want to be conscious of what's coming out of your mouth. Okay. All right, that's interesting. All right, so let's talk about the cards here. Your first card is the Six of Swords in reverse. Okay. Spirit is saying, it feels like right now, they're giving me this message of treading water, which is interesting. Like you're paddling and going nowhere. You're not going forward, you're not going backward. So you may feel that something that you're doing is not going anywhere. You know, maybe you feel like nobody's listening to you. Maybe you're on some kind of platform, social media or otherwise. Maybe at work, you know, in meetings when you say things, you feel like no one's listening. Or in your family or your social circle, your networking circle, you feel like you're speaking and you're not sure if anyone's even listening. Again, like you're treading water. But it does, say that again. Yeah, Spirit's saying that you are aware, even though there's part of you that feels like people aren't listening to you, you are aware that there are conversations happening around you that involve you. And it may just be that you don't know what they're saying. You don't know if it's good or bad, or if they're even getting it, or how many people are getting it. I feel like you're trying to make a difference. Yes, Spirit is saying yes. You're doing something, you're trying to make a difference. You're trying to do something right and to lead with integrity and to communicate with like positive energy. But it feels a little bit like you're unsure of yourself. Okay. All right. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah. Again, what Spirit's giving me is this, like a little bit of a lack of confidence. You're not sure what to do with positive things people say any more than you are to do with the negative things people may say. It's like they both kind of turn your world upside down. They have you feeling, it has you feeling a little bit uncomfortable. And maybe it's, maybe it makes you uncomfortable to have these eyes on you so closely. You know, whether you are purposely putting yourself out there, you know, with public speaking or, you know, a social media platform, something like that. Again, even at work or something, you know, maybe you are purposely putting yourself out there because you're doing something you believe in or you're trying to make a difference. But when the spotlight shines on you, for good or for bad, it feels like sometimes it makes your skin crawl a little bit, like suddenly you're not invisible. That to me feels like a powerful message of not feeling invisible. like feeling invisible may have been something you have gotten used to, whether you liked it or didn't. And so you're feeling a little bit exposed, even if what people are saying is good. And I feel, again, as many questions about what people are saying as what they're not saying. As in, you know, you may get a comment from one person that's good or bad, but if there are, you know, 6 other people in the room or whatever that are saying nothing, to you that feels like treading water. It's like you're not sure what people are really thinking. And it almost goes to like a lack of confidence that even if there's 10 people in a room and 3 of them are saying something good and the rest are quiet, part of you is wondering if the rest are quiet because they're thinking something bad or saying something bad behind your back. Spirit is saying it's a fear that is not based in reality. So try to let that go. Okay? All right. And then we have the 4 of Cups reversed. Yeah, Spirit's saying things are progressing for you. You may have been a little bit ambivalent about, you know, what you were doing or how people were reacting in the past. Maybe sometimes it felt good, sometimes it felt bad, but it didn't feel like anything was really making a difference, right? Like that what you were doing was, again, treading water a bit. But you're sensing now that things are changing. And you're starting to see things for what they really are. And there's like a moment of fear there and a moment of exhilaration there. Like oh my God, finally. And then, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You know, then the fears start to creep in. But you are recognizing, or I believe you're recognizing or seeing or believing that what is coming in is a gift. And so we're going to, of course, find out more about what that gift is, what that purpose is. All right. Then lastly, we have the Lover's card. The Spirit's saying you're committed to this. And that is what makes all the difference. There is going to be uncertainty, for sure. There's going to be sometimes a lack of understanding by others. Sometimes there will be negative thoughts or sentiment. But there's going to be a lot of good. And really what they're focusing on is the good that's being said, or the things that you don't know are being said that you are fearing are bad, or what they're thinking even, but more so what people are saying amongst themselves. But Spirit's saying you're committed to this work or this idea or this activity. You're committed to being who you are, and that is going to make all the difference. Spirit wants you to just stay strong in that power and in that commitment until things become more clear. And then you'll see that you made the right decision. Anything else, Spirit? The Spirit's saying to tell you that there is more to this than you're seeing or realizing behind the scenes. Orchestrated by Spirit for your benefit. So don't fear. Continue forward. Continue forward. And don't let the eyes on you spook you. This is what you want, even if it's a little bit scary. You want these eyes on you because that's how you make a difference. You make a difference by not being invisible, but by being seen and heard. And even though this is probably something that you want, because you are putting yourself out there, it can still be scary when it happens, or it can be unnerving, I should say. Because with eyes on you and ears listening, there's going to be opinions. But unless this is something you want to keep to yourself forever, you have to risk that. And you have to not worry so much. And just trust in your own vision and your purpose here. Okay, interesting. All right, we're gonna pull some more cards and find out the bigger purpose behind, why this is happening. To you, for you, with you. Spirit is always working with you, never against you. Believe it or not. All right, we have Nine of Wands reversed. We have the Moon reversed. We have the Lovers again. Interesting. And we have the Page of Swords. All right, so the Six of Swords reversed and the Nine of Wands reversed. It has you feeling very vulnerable to suddenly go from treading water to making some progress, to being seen and heard and talked about. But Spirit's saying there is power in vulnerability. There is a gift in this. It doesn't mean that your spark has gone out, that your fight has gone out. It means that you're open. And the more open you are to life and to people, the more open you are to Spirit, and the more they're able to step in and help you and move your whatever it is you're working on, move it along, move it forward. Anything else on that card? Spirit's saying to let go of the blocks that stand in your way. You don't have to hide anymore. You are meant to be seen and heard. And that is part of the purpose of all of this. The whispers behind your back, the chatter that you are aware of or unaware of or assuming. It's to help you build your confidence in being seen and being heard. And knowing that you are making a difference in somebody's life, and probably many somebodies, you know what I mean? All right, so then we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the moon reversed. You may be feeling very uncomfortable, very like, again, like all eyes are on you, and it just feels a little unnerving. But with the moon reversed, there is clarity in this feeling. Tell me more about that, Spirit. Yes, Spirit is saying, first of all, you are seeing things with more clarity, with more clear eyes, but so are the people who are watching you or listening to you or hearing you or reading you if it's something you write. They're seeing through to what you're saying, even if you don't realize it. You're actually helping more people overcome their fears, their doubts, their emotional challenges, their triggers. Whatever it is you're doing and saying, it's affecting people. Many more people than you think. Just because they hear you and they feel what you're saying and they don't tell you, doesn't mean that it didn't affect them positively. Doesn't mean that your words didn't make an impact. They're making an impact for sure. The Spirit's saying, there's a story here about emotions being an aid and a block for people. Emotions can help us see and feel what's going on around us, but it can also sometimes become overwhelming, and we lose clarity when emotions get too high. And that may happen to you, but more specifically, they're talking about the people who are listening to you, hearing you, talking about you, or not talking about you in some cases. In a lot of cases, these are folks who you may not realize it, but are going through something in their lives that they're not really talking about. They're not sharing with you. But it's some heavy stuff for them. And sometimes it's just a kind word that you say. It's your character. It's who you are. And it takes some of that away. Even if it's just for a moment, you are affecting people and bringing them some clarity when sometimes they feel like they're drowning. And they may never tell you that because what they're dealing with is personal and private. And a lot of times people get uncomfortable sharing. Or they think that you wouldn't care, right? Or that you don't need to know or want to know. But I'm feeling this great sense of gratitude toward you and your words. So know that. Okay? All right, then we have the Four of Cups reversed and the Lovers for a second time. And Spirit's saying, again, you're going through a change. You're going from, treading water and feeling like nothing you say or do matters to anybody. Really? Going from feeling invisible to visible. Spirit is saying where earlier they were saying for you to stay committed, but they're saying also here with the second Lovers that people are growing in their commitment to you. They are, they're latching onto your words because your words bring them comfort in some way. Maybe it gives them some insight or some guidance or just a level of like peace. They're growing in their commitment toward you. Spirit's saying the bigger purpose here for all of this is for you to have a bigger platform, a bigger space, a bigger impact. For you to learn to own your voice in whatever situation or venue you are in. Again, it may just be among your friends, your coworkers, and it may be something bigger, depending on your situation. Spirit wants you to start getting uncomfortable with not knowing what people are saying and I don't want to say not caring what people say, because you do care. You care about people and you care that you're helping them, but not letting what people say rattle you for good or for bad. Because the intention here from Spirit is for you to continue to grow out of your shell and to be heard and seen even more. And for you to recognize all the good that you're doing. Even when it isn't spoken, even when it isn't said, just as importantly as when it is. Like you have to get comfortable with both. Because the more you are seen and heard, the more of both you're going to get, right? Spirit's saying to continue to do and be who you are. Do what you do, be who you are. Continue on this path, stay committed, and continue to do it because you know you're a good person. You have a good heart. Your intentions are good. What you say is generally filled with love and compassion and empathy and integrity and positive intentions. And to do that for its own sake and let the rest just fall away. Don't let anything else bother you. Don't question yourself. Don't question if, you should change your tactics or if you should be more quiet or if you should just, shut up in meetings or whatever. No. That's not the purpose behind all this. The purpose is for you to be more seen. It's for you to put yourself out there more, to become more and more comfortable with that. And that's what Spirit is helping you do. Even if it feels very uncomfortable right now. All right, and finally we have the Lover's card with the Page of Swords. Again, stay committed. Your words matter. Your thoughts matter. Your thoughts on different situations or scenarios or projects or strategies matter. So keep that purpose tight in your heart. Not to say don't be open to, suggestions and opinions and ideas, because of course we all need to stay open, but don't be afraid to speak. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, put your words out there. It's the reason why you are experiencing any kind of discomfort with being heard, with being talked about, with being noticed, is because Spirit is gathering up energy to make all of this bigger, not smaller. to make your impact more profound. To make you more known. And they're saying to get rid of that invisibility cloak altogether. The time of you being invisible is over. And they really want you to own that, to embrace it, to enjoy it. Because what you're doing is, and who you are, is good. You're not out there spreading, hopefully, I'm assuming, if this message is for you, you're not out there spreading hate. You're not out there spreading lies and negative thoughts, negative opinions. You're sharing love. You're sharing compassion and empathy and positive communication that is helping people even when you think it's not. And you need to continue to grow in that direction, from Spirit's point of view. Obviously you don't have to, but Spirit really wants you to, and that's what they're preparing you for. Okay, anything else on that, Spirit, before we get to the last card? Okay, all right, so your last card is Truth Be Told, but it's in reverse. Card number 14, Truth Be Told. I'm going to read from the book. This is the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, and Spirit really likes my guides really like the messages in this book. It's the only one they ever had me actually read from. But I agree, they're really good messages. So here's what it says. We're going to read the protection message because it was in reverse. It says, where are you being dishonest with yourself or others? If you're unhappy in any area of your life, look for signs of denial. This can also pertain to others being misleading or withholding or acting from hidden agendas. Now is the time to say no to dishonesty in all forms. Ask for the truth. Even if you don't like what you hear, acknowledging it will be key to a beautiful new future where you no longer labor under the heavy burdens that deceit and denial impose on you. Set yourself free. Nothing less than truth is required now. And the denial they're wanting you, the dishonesty they're wanting you to throw away is yours. Denying who you are. Denying the impact you have on others. Don't withhold your truth because you're afraid of what people are saying. Your fears are lying to you. You are beloved. You are making an impact. You have a powerful voice that whispers into the hearts of the people that you speak to. And no matter what their reaction is, whether it comes from love or fear, you're making a difference. So be true to yourself and accept that truth, and don't tell yourself anything else because it's not real. Set yourself free. That's what this description said. All right, y'all. I think that's beautiful. I'm really I feel like this level of being impressed by you, because I can see you in my mind's eye growing in this energy and just making the world a better place. Even if it's just your, small corner of the world. You are actually making a difference, and it's beautiful. So, good luck, y'all. Love and light to you guys, because this is beautiful, whatever you're doing, whoever you are. So, thank you for being here. If this message helped you, I hope you'll just give it a thumbs up. it just helps my messages, these readings, get out to more people so that they can get the readings that, you know, their spirit guides want them to watch, right? And lead them to. So I'm grateful for that. Drop a comment down below if you have anything you want to share. And thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.